I'm back. It is a long hiatus. I feel like I said that the last three videos. Um, Super quick little update. If you're on Discord, as you can tell, there's been a ton of news. So between playtesting the new set, coming up with limited, unlimited, talking about ban lists, how we're gonna handle it. Promos, uh, the routes to finishing up times to come alternate borders. Like, we have been busy, and that's not even reg update, order update, all that stuff. So been very, very busy, and I try to limit my time on redemption, because if not, I just go crazy. Not like in a bad way, it's just crazy and like balancing. Just got to learn how to balance. So, and I'm also nearing completion of like version 0 of the 2027 set. Um, and I really like to release the set to the team, and then we get a bunch of feedback, and that's when I like to go back into the new document, like the next set. So like release 2026 set, get feedback, go through a couple rounds, and then I jump into the 2027 doc, and based on the feedback I get, I make updates to the 2027 set, two separate sets. That makes it the most fresh in my mind, to where I know, hey, am I trying to push things too much? Is this too strong? Is this just too weak? Hey, how many modifiers do we have? Balancing ratios. There's so much I learn every set. So just been very busy with redemption behind the scenes. So something's got to give, and I have been playing a couple games on the back end too. I've been play testing, and I've been playing some Type 1. So we'll see. I don't know what these Zales. My wife already got a ring, man. She know the ring. So yeah, I'm going to do a different video this time. One that I've talked about making before, and I just didn't. So I went on Tier Maker. I did a single use tier. I have all these images saved, and so if you want this, I can just send you the images. I didn't make this public. I just did a single use. So I'm going to do like a tier list. So before we even do the tier list, like, what is it? You just kind of, how strong is something? And so S being the best of the best, we just go down S, A, B, C, D. I don't know why they use S. I don't know why A isn't the best, and it's just A, B, C, D, F. Just kind of skip A. I don't know. But either way, that's just common. So if you've ever seen a tier list before, and if you haven't, this is your first time. S is like, hey, this is the absolute best of the best. A is really good. So I'm going to define it in redemption terms. S, you're going to see it at Nats, buy the best players, has the best chance to win Nats. And then A, you're also going to see it. It might be lacking a little bit. It might have more counters against it. It might have, like, let's say, for example, Nativity has a lot of brigades. So, like, instead of being S tier, it could be A tier, something like that. So you got to take into account the overall meta. B, strong, solid. Maybe it's a little slow. Maybe it has like a hard counter. Maybe it's a little too technical, or a little niche or something. Maybe the theme isn't fully done yet, or I lost some cards in rotation or something. I'm not sure. But B would just be, hey, this is good, but it still plays like a fair game of redemption. C, it just isn't there yet. Maybe it could be like fun to play. It could be more casual. Just probably missing overall components of a really strong deck, whether it's like a fast start, searching and drawing, consistency are really good. Right now, you're not wanting to see a bunch of brigades, so can you do a lot in in like one or two brigades? That's why Daniel's also so good. Although now we're starting to see Daniel playing the Apocalyptus and Malak. So you have white, green, silver, blue. So all of a sudden, your brigade count just went up big time. And if you're not protecting it, like, you can just negate Malak, and then you can do something to them all. But anyway, So, and then you have D tier, which right now it's not playable. Um, it takes a lot for me to say something's D tier, and I will preface by saying if something is D tier, it can still be made and piloted to be better. And just because something's S tier doesn't mean you just pick it up and play it and you're going to do amazing. All these have to be in combination. You got to put everything, you look at it holistically, put it all together and see, okay, where are we um, counter wise, defensive wise. So I should be able to do a defensive tier list, and I should be able to do like an overall deck. That one's a lot more difficult because how do you do that with images? Like I wasn't sure how to do that just yet. Like defenses, I can just pick major characters from the defense to represent their themes, but from a deck perspective, I'd probably have to like put two cards together in Lackey and like take like a snippet of that, unless I was just in like a Word document and like wrote it all out. Um, so I think like this is a better visual. So I'm using these cards in Lackey, not Redemption CCG app, which I will get into. Not this video. I'll try it out, but it looks amazing. Um, but what I'm using for these are they're representing their themes. So as I bring it up, I'll say what it is. So we'll just go through the list. I did not put any prior thought into this. This is just off the cusp. Really, I was just like, all right, what are all the themes that I can think of? And I got all the themes that I thought were at least mostly relevant, playable. There could be some niche things, or you could say, oh, that's and you could have sub themes as well. But I wanted to put everything together, and then I had to get the images. Well, then you have to do the images specific in this. So it's the best thing I got. So I hope it's okay, and ask your doctor about Pluvicto today. So we're going to go into it. Gabriel is going to represent nativity. No, he's not. He's representing GOC, Gospel Angels. Man, should have practiced. So he's representing Gospel Angels. I'm only doing this for Type 1, and Type 2 Gospel Angels are A, if not S tier. Just depends on what you add to them, and you could always do that. Like Gospel Angels A tier. Well, if you're playing a Nazi deck with a ton of drawing, probably S tier. But this is for Type 1, so we are going to look at it from a Type 1 perspective. I think GOC Angels are good. They can play Nazi really well. They have some strong bands, but they're overall pretty slow. They are most of the time your Angels are a sub theme, so they are trying to help Nativity or Empty Tomb or Disciples. Like they're trying to help something else in the respective overall theme. So it's tough to have its own theme, and GOC did a good job of that, especially with like Prince of the Air coming around, Expatriators being to underdeck them, stuff like that, or getting rid of Gates of Hell. It's good. You can make it fast, but most of the time I find that you need like another offense to help make it good. What's funny is you could put together like another slower offense that misses something. Like I've really liked Gold with Gold Silver. I've had fun with that deck, and that makes for a very, very strong band with Jarris Daughter, Gabriel, Watchful Servant, all that. So you can combine pieces to make the deck better. So just keep that in mind. So yeah, I'm going to put it at B. And this is GOC Angels, specifically Gospel Angels. Strong, just overall slow. Nothing over there that's like way too good. Their enhancements kind of lacking. The characters don't really win you a battle, so kind of a supplemental offense. I feel like they could even be C, but I'll put them at B just because they still have the strong bands and they can get out quickly with their territory class enhancements, and they can use bits and pieces of Gospel really easily. They're very flexible. Next one, I'm saying this is as Ezekiel. So you have Watchman, Cherubim, and then you have multiple different types of Ezekiel. So I know I just did Times to Come Ezekiel, but it's multiple types, mainly POC. In this version, Ezekiel really likes to hit your hand and it does it before the battle. We don't do a lot of that. We're going to try to do less of that. But between the cherubims and this guy, you're getting hand look. Wheel within a wheel is really good, and you get out those cherubims quick, and all of a sudden you're just, their dominants are gone. You're top decking multi-brigade stuff, and it's a lot for the opponent to handle. You could hit their territory or their hand. You can stop them from accessing their reserve. It's really good, but because of Victorious Being and Watchmen, it's one of the fastest bursts in the game. And of course, anything with green has Amos. So if you can mix Amos in easily, that's really strong as well. So I have this as A tier. I think it's one of the stronger offenses. I'll say if it wasn't for Accusers, slapping down on Accusers, it's probably be even higher, but because Accusers can negate this Ezekiel, not the POC one, but because Accusers can negate this Ezekiel and Watchmen, that's a hard counter. And it would probably be S tier. It's that fast. It's constant hand look. It's hand manipulation. You have speed, search. It just kind of has everything. You have strong battle winners. You have flexibility in the offense to go more silver, more green, or take the best of green. So I really like where Ezekiel is. Ezekiel could also ban to the cherubims that can ban to anyone for the most part. So it's really good, but I think Accusers is a hard counter to pretty much everything Old Testament, which is a lot of this list. So then we go into Zechariah. Now Zechariah is more of a sub-theme. He's a minor prophet, so we wanted to make the majors bigger. He's a minor prophet. He's good, but it's not a full theme. I would say this as like a sub-theme, but because he's got a strong protect all, that's really good. I actually lost a battle because I couldn't do Murderous Command to discard a hero to add. So I played it, I took my Evil Egyptian, and then I realized I can't even discard my own heroes. Everyone's protected. I've talked about blanket protection. That's a little too much. So he's good. He's more of a sub-theme. Yes, you get a little flexibility in Zechariah, but overall, there's just not a lot there. And like I said, he's probably a sub-theme. I was contemplating putting him up here. I put him as C, but I put him in conjunction with other offenses to raise their overall score. Jeremiah's next. Jeremiah's interesting because it's just one hero. So how can you have an offense on one hero? And that's where you can kind of play a little bit of this other stuff. You could play some Daniel. You could play some Ezekiel. We saw Jaden do it with great success. And with Jeremiah, you have an entire reserve. The world is your oyster. You can do whatever you want. And he's very easy to get out. Defenders of the Saints is amazing. He's good. Also, Defender of the Saints to Zechariah is phenomenal. You have CBN protection. If you shrine to Artemis, you could just keep putting him back in the deck. So if you can get to Defender and Zechariah, or just do it twice, it's a CBN. Even just once, you just do a CBN protected Zechariah. All your heroes are protected if you have your dominant. That's really, really good. So I do think there's really good plays in Zechariah. But anyway, we're on Jeremiah. So Jeremiah, I think he's really good. You have to be, it's a deck building, I don't know, Paradise and Nightmare. What do you do with your reserve? How strong is this? You know what? Yeah, baby. Yeah, I'm the ad now. So with Jeremiah, you can do whatever you want in the reserve. But are people going to block him? Especially, are people going to block a Defender of the Saints to Jeremiah? Unless they absolutely have to. So I think the hard counter to him is you just don't block him and you don't get the full value. However, if I could side battle into him, oh, that's brutal. Can you imagine if every turn, you attack with Jeremiah and then you block with Jeremiah? You block, you do a side battle, and now you have Jeremiah, and it doesn't matter what they do. You crush their hand, you crush their deck, you crush their territory, you draw a bunch. So he's very flexible, but you do have to build around him. And because you have to build around him and he is one card, saying Jeremiah. He also has hard counters with Nazi and Herodias. We're not seeing as much Herodias. I don't get it. You have an automatic plus 10 card advantage on your opponent, where your opponent puts some of their best situational cards in the reserve. And yeah, Herods are just good. I think Daniel the Apocalyptus scared him off. Joshua scared him off last year. I don't know. But Herods still have plenty. They don't need Herod's Temple to block. People just got lazy because of how good it is, and I don't blame them. Wilderness. Okay, Daniel the Apocalyptus. So I separated the Daniels. Moses, you'll be okay. We'll take care of you. You know, there's taking you to 12th, which works for all of white. But Wilderness will get buffs. Don't worry. Just right now, you have to play it. And Jay had brought up a good point. Like, I had just not phenomenal success, but I did very well with Wilderness. But I was playing it with Rain Becomes Dust. I was playing it with board control. I was playing it with shuffling a bunch of stuff. Like, I was playing a slow game with them and just a grindy, like, it was quick in the extent of, like, I always had my Moses turn one. I could attack, get my resource, and go at them. But it's a grind with Wilderness. It's supposed to be a grind. People don't always like playing that play style. They're going to get some tools. They're going to be, I'm excited for their future, but as of right now, they're down there. Okay, Daniel the Apocalyptus. So I did separate the two Daniels because we are seeing a separation of the two. One is with Daniel the Apocalyptus and usually Malak, and one is just more focused on white silver. Usually you see this, for some reason you see this Daniel, the treasured mono white, with like white silver, and then this one tends to be a little bit more brigade happy. We don't know what the right one is. Personally, I love Daniel the treasured with joy. Like, white is so fast right now that like you can quickly get to Ancient of Days, get into Meshach, and then you can veer off of Michael as well. So you're getting a draw 3, and then you can get another draw 2. Like, you're snagging 5 cards, slapping joy down, and everyone's CBN protection. Remember, I said Zechariah, that's like the best play. Well, he can do this every time. So that's really good. And when you just have CBN protection, there's not much. The opponent has to play ROP. But look at me. I'm talking about the other Daniel. So with this Daniel, I think it all comes down to the meta. Are we going to see Colosseum and Herod's Temple, Sheol, Gates of Hell? Like, are we going to see these cards have a big impact on the meta? And if so, then Daniel the Apocalyptus is very good. However, they're very similar decks, so it's just a matter of which one do you play against the meta. If we're seeing a bunch of Regardless of Protection, then you just play Daniel. You just negate a bunch of stuff anyway. Regardless, he's an A tier. How fast this offense can get going, and because he's green, you can just mix him in with all these guys. Ezekiel, Cherubim, and you can just mix it all to Daniel. It's really good. The best part about Daniel, in my opinion, is Daniel, Meshach, and Michael. Michael keeps out your heroes and then makes the band so much more flexible that you can just go Cherubims to Daniel, Michael to whatever you want, and you can still play Meshach in there as well. And you just need 3 heroes from that offense, and you get the best of it. So I think green-silver with Daniel is actually better because you get so much of the burst off here with hand hitting, and then you go into the Daniel stuff. The Daniel stuff just comes out pretty quick up front, but you're wanting to get the pieces. Green's like, oh, okay, I'm just going to Victorious Being to Watchman to Ezekiel, have a green enhancement. And you can play green enhancements on this guy. You can just play, your green enhancements are better than the white enhancements. So you can just play green enhancements and go into all this. So I haven't seen like a green Daniel deck. It's just been white. So, but he's still A tier. This is tough. Like, do I have it as S tier or A tier? Because of Joy making it CBN, that's really good. He's already CBP, so it's really good up front. Accusers doesn't mess with him, but Accusers messes with pretty much everyone else in that offense. So you're still Old Testament, and if you're playing Old Testament this year, if you're playing a Daniel deck, you better get out from accusers as quickly as you can, because it is not good. And if you're not playing Old Testament, you better get accusers out turn one, and you better go covet and hunter and wanderer, and you better just take their humble and they just sit there. It's not fun. So that's why, like, another reason, it just depends on how you build this, Daniel, but so much of that offense, accusers, exists. So it's really tough to put anything Old Testament in S tier, because all you got to do is just play some of the best offenses in the game with accusers, and that really hurts. So although this is very fast, very consistent, it is reliant on Ancient of Days. It's reliant on, Eternal Believers to get Ancient of Days. You could play it like Ancient Power, like Chad, and just turn one AOD for 8 or 9 usually. I like it because it can soul hide. I love Kingdom of the Divine with Ancient of Days, and you're negating Lost Souls and you're playing soul hide. Like, that's really good. So you can, it's A tier for sure because of the flexibility of the entire deck. Daniel the Apocalyptus being green, A tier because you're negating fortresses, evil characters, New Testament enhancements, plus you're green. So you can play green enhancements or you can link in with all this green stuff. This white, a little tougher to ban to, and you kind of want to stay white, so you get the advantage of Prince of the Air doesn't hurt you. So you got to make sure, what are you going to see? But overall, because of accusers existing, that's a very hard counter. So I put these both as A. Aaron is representative of priests in general. And I think priests aren't bad because of Zadok that can go into Pot of Mana from reserve. Like, that's really good. And because Aaron can just go straight to Holy of Holies, that's also good. Or straight to Book of the Covenant. Like, there's funky, gimmicky plays that you can do. However, you're sitting in clay, Aaron's white, then you got Zadok, and you have a lot of brigades. You need pieces. There's not a tabernacle for it yet. There's not enough overall speed. There's some cool plays, and there's some like Ark of the Covenant, Glory Lord's amazing. You can do well. Like, I do think you can play both of these D tier offenses. You can play them up to B. I do think that's the absolute cap. That's the ceiling for them. It's really tough. You got to have some draw cards. You got to be able to get some better heroes that can win some abilities. You got to have some more toys. Priests like their toys, so they need a couple more toys. And don't worry, you'll get it. I think these will be moving up in the year or two, but we'll see. Music leaders for musicians. Some of our better musician cards have been green lately, so that kind of hurts them. He is New Testament, so that's good. Is he? Is he New Testament? Which is this one, the Ephesians? Because I don't know. I don't want to ruin anything. Yeah, he's Ephesians. So, yeah, he's New Testament. So that helps. His territory class can be easier to negate. We were talking with Jay, Tim, Kyle, and I jumped in real quick and was talking to them for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes Friday night. And we're talking about like Distress Lost Soul. My camera looks fuzzy. It does that from time to time. So it's my camera. And we were talking about Distress Lost Soul and saying like where does that rank and all that stuff. How good is it still? And it's good. It's just, can you stop? Let me see if this works at all. See you guys. Okay, I gotta flip it on and off. I'm not gonna do that. So if you're going to see a bunch of distressed, or if you're going to see ways to negate characters and territory, that stinks. If you can get a music leader down, he gets your whole offense out. I do think he's a little bit more niche, and there's not as much to do with him. But when you're getting out heroes that band and 24 elders that can get out your main over and over, and you can get out artifacts that involve music for 24 elders, and you're just getting out battle winners and recurring, that's good. It's they have to draw it or search, so it's not like it's a he's not going to stop the opponent from doing something. Every time I've played against him and I've played with him, every time people just burn through this guy. They're giving him, I'm just like, all right, here's a trigger, and you're getting two every time from deck or discard pile. So it's really good. I just think he needs a few more toys. I can see this guy being crazy and unlimited. But yeah, as of right now, you got to get him out early, get maximum value from him. And they just need like a few more things that make it really worth it. So yeah, C tier for me. What I like is you can throw him in a David deck, and now all of a sudden you're getting back Royal Parade and a few things that you want. Nativity. So for me, Nativity is amazing. You just have to change. You got to pull back the brigades, and that pulls back some of the power. So when you have Zechariah and Gabriel with white, like you're running white, silver, you have teal and green. I like to pull that back and just go silver white. And if you're silver white, you have the same amount of brigades as Daniel. Daniel's never worried about Prince of the Air. And you have Flight into Egypt, Star Bethlehem, and you're just protecting yourself over and over. It's consistent. It's fast. It has strong battle winners. It has the best banding in the game. It has one of the best heroes in the game. I think initiative is amazing this year. I think most people have went so heavy into banding that they just forgot, like, hey, I can come out and wreck your territory and you can't stop her. Like, you have to stop Beth Stable. So she's really good. And between Joshua last year hitting Herod's also hit Nativity because people like to play them together. I do think white-silver Nativity is the best. And when you can slap down Goys or you can slap down Harvest Time, you have the quickest access to dominance usually. And you can do a lot with that. If you can slap down Harvest Time, you can really mess with the opponent. So I think it's S tier. And I don't know. I don't see anyone playing it. So Tim's playing it now in Type 2 or Type 1, maybe in Type 2 as well, probably. But yeah, I think it's the best. You probably lose that Zechariah if you're worried about, or you just keep him in reserve and wait till you see that Prince of the Air. Prince of the Air he's gonna hit you once, but you're gonna be protected 3 times, and he hits you once, and then boom, he's reserved. Orange doesn't have a way to get him out. So Mary's for Empty Tomb. I think with Peter, it's really good. Usually with Empty Tomb, you just take a few of the best heroes and put them together with Matthew, and Simon choose the blocker, and Mary, and that's clay pile. So that's where I say like, hey, just take the best of everything. So you could take some of the Empty Tomb, Mary Holy Virgin, Matthew, all your ways to Matthew, and that's clay pile. That's still S tier, absolutely. So with Mary, I think Empty Tube's really good. It's not really hurt by anything. We're not going to see much Goys this year. I don't think we're going to see any Goys this year. I think Convert to Meek has full access in Type 2 or Type 1. I think you can just run it in Type 1 and not be worried about Goys. Last year, yours truly, like there was Goys. Chad running Nazi, running Goys. I just don't think you're going to see it. So I like Empty Tomb. I like where it's at. It's got phenomenal bands. You gotta bounce your stuff to reset it and their stuff, but Peter doesn't need to be bounced anymore, and he bounces them. And if you get that Empty Tomb down with Stone Rolled Away, you can recur enhancements, and you're just going. They're really good against these 100 carders because they're underdecking all evil characters in battle, negating things and recurring their own. So Empty Tomb's really good against 100 carders. And with the new Peter, they're really good. And you got speed and access. They are more technical. So, because they're more technical to play, you got to bounce the opponent and your own. You got to bounce your heroes to reset them. You got to bounce the opponent's evil characters to get the block from hand. But if they block from hand, they ain't doing much. But because you have to constantly reset, probably 2 heroes a turn, I put them as a more technical offense. So, and you're clay and white constantly, and you want some silver. So I put them as a B tier. But if you can play them well, then I think they move up here. I wouldn't put them as S, but they have that advantage of the opponent not fully knowing what they all do, or having to block from hand. David is for the Ruth offense. Probably should have just done Ruth, but hey, we have a new Ruth. So with the Ruth offense is really good. I didn't even think we fully needed a new Ruth, although she's absolutely bonkers. I just thought we needed an enhancement for Ruth. So maybe we get that, and if they get an enhancement that's really strong in Ruth, then I think they're very good because they just recycle their own enhancements and take them over and over and over. They have good modifiers. They have some of the best consistency and burst. I would say the best burst in the game. It's so easy to get Elimelech and draw a bunch. Victorious Being Watchman is up there as well. They have mass modifier, so they have Bethlehem, and then you have Jesse and Obed. So you can stay all in white-red. You get red because of the Meek, but you're mostly in white. And with Ruth being white and the recycling, I think they are very technical, but I think they're very good. I think they need a couple things, but I would play them with a couple side battle cards. And honestly, I think they're B tier. Accusers exist, but Bethlehem, you can get it out so quick. They are an extremely fast, consistent deck that has access to dominance, and they're very flexible. So I think they're B where they can be played. Like if you came in and played like Jake Agar the Wise, Jake Antonette's had a very good white gray deck, and I don't even think that was when new Moabites came out. Maybe it was, but like I could see gray white Moabites side battles just being really good. People just wouldn't be prepared for it. White brown side battles for sure. So I put it as B. It's technical. People don't see it, and it replays its own stuff. It doesn't have that big boom boom card yet, maybe. So I have it as a B. John the Fisherman. What are you here for? What are you? Oh, you are purple disciples. Not empty tomb. Yeah, you're just purple disciples. I think Matthew is indicative of clay pile. That's what we're gonna say. So John is just purple. If you run like Chad had great success last year with it, but if you run just purple, you're gonna mess with people because they don't see it much. You have strong enhancements, very strong heroes, and this guy is one of the best heroes in the game. He's easy to get. He needs a good dominant to work, but who cares? He tosses the next and draws two. If they can't band against him because you can't give this guy initiative. And if you drop a bunch of meek heroes and you have initiative with him, you can just play Impartial Judgment. Like that's really, really good on him. But yeah, he's phenomenal. I think you can do a lot with purple, like what Chad showed. But they need Goys and Nazi and draw stuff like that. They need something else to make them really good. They are more technical, and it's tough because it feels like they're so outclassed by clay. Like you don't get AOC promo, you don't get Great Commission interrupt, you don't get regardless of protection, love one another, unless you play them as meek. Like you miss out on so much of the meek aspects that you have to do something else. So I do put them at B, but I think they're good. All purple. Matthew, it's just clay pile. We don't really have to talk about this much. You take Mary, you take Matthew, you take John, you take this Mary. You just cram them all together, and you get one of the best speed engines in the game with just strong enhancements. Spirit as a dove, untouchable. You just get everything you want. So clay pile is still S tier, and you can play it with dominance. You can play it with counters. You do not need all these good dominance. You can play them with like Chronicles of the Kings. and things like that. But they don't need all these battle doms. If you want to play clay pile, you can play it with a good defense and be just fine. You have consistency and speed. Everyone thinks, oh, I need all 7 dom slots with to be battle doms. I just don't think you do. DMM, David's Mighty Men. They're technical. They're not full. The theme's not fully done yet. They do rely on equipped weapons. However, they come out really quick with David, and Abishai. And when you start getting this offense rolling, it's really tough to stop. And first turn, you should be taking out their best evil character in their deck or their best enhancement. Like if you go up against someone and discard like their Pride of Lions turn 1, like that's a big flip. I like playing them with some sort of way to stop, some sort of way like undesirables and confusion, or philosophy and undesirables, or not your possession as well. Like I like it to where you can slow them down a little bit or restrict dominance. They are fast. They're technical, and they're not fully fleshed out yet, and they're Old Testament. So like there's a lot of counters to them right now. I do put them at C. I don't put them right here because they have they're more consistency, more speed. You can do more with them, more flexibility. And once you get that band out there, especially with shields and everything on them, they're hard to stop. This is Genesis. This isn't just Sons of Jacob. So I have Joseph as Genesis. I love Genesis. I think it's really good when you can do a huge chain with Malak and you can draw a ton, and you have Genesis is the highest potential band. Well, now because of Michael, but like staying in your theme, Genesis has the most card advantage band in the game. But when you have access to play first, CBN, hand hitting, consistency, territory hitting, strong enhancements, it's really good. I think it just kind of other things kept getting toys and Genesis didn't. That it's like, oh yeah, they're not as good. I think they need something else like a Goshen, some other big card that can impact. Now Goshen not as big now, but what's nice is like Jaden was using it defensively. So like he'll put Goshen down and your enhancements get tossed when you convert. Stuff like that. They need something else like that that's like out of the box, impacts the battle, even if they're not in it, I think. But they're Old Testament. They need a lot. Jairus is NT Gold. They're a little slow. They're a little technical. But man, Watchful Servant to Jairus' daughter is crazy. That is very, very good. They automatically have Teaching in Parables and Amazing Faith and Brigade. Gold also has some of the stronger enhancements, big battle winners. And when you can Talitha come 5 heroes into battle and start messing with their deck as well, like you play it with Satan's Seat, you can reserve with Sidecar. Like you want these little pieces out. It's really good. They mesh well with other brigades. We've seen Justin play some gold before. Not necessarily Gospel Gold, but we've seen Justin play some gold before. It's just tough when you have like other gold offenses that do so much more. But I think they can supplement other brigades or be supplemented by, and they can be like a support brigade with like 2 or 3 enhancements, Amazing Fate, Teaching Parables, maybe a few of the other big interrupts. And you just kind of put them in with Gospel Angels or stuff like that. But Jairus to Jairus' daughter is insane. Toss the next, negate everything, and you want to play that with like Cross, Coliseum, things like that. It's really good. Complacent. It's extremely difficult to block. You just need other pieces, and they're a little slow. So I think I put them around C tier. This is like when like Micah's having great success with his deck. He's playing it up here. So it's just a matter of what do you build with them. You can even argue he's playing it up here. Like he is doing extremely well. So it's just, do they have all the pieces? And you got to build around that. But I'm just looking at them at their base and saying, hey, what's their floor and their ceiling? Like they can probably be right here. Building them kind of as is, looking at them as a brigade, as a theme, they're right here for me. Joshua, so yes, there's accusers, but you can get Caleb real quick. Stone Carries is really good. Scarlet Line over and over is good against 100 card decks, but it's also hey, just go to your two best heroes. It's one of the better starts in the game. Joshua having ROP is really good, and Lord's Army and Captain is still good. Joshua's one of the biggest card advantage when you come out and you're just plucking. I mean, Joshua's getting one from reserve. Captain's getting 3. Joshua's sword's getting 1. You're usually banding to Caleb. Your Joshua, where's my hands? Your officiators is taking a fort. Your Joshua's sword is discarding a card in their territory. I mean, you're up 9 cards in attack. Like that's crazy. So they crush the opponent's territory. And the thing with Promised Land is you don't really need to hit their defense. Like you get to look at their hand, see what you need from your reserve, and take their offensive pieces. And now their attacks aren't strong. So they're super consistent, super fast, they're super flexible, really good, and Prince of the Air doesn't hurt them. They could use more protection, and you can build them with protection. You can throw in another weapon or two and have Captain's Sword, Caleb's Sword, Joshua's Sword. Officiator can equip it straight from deck, and you can just play Buckler and have a big protected band. So I think they're good. Posties are super flexible. Tim had a good point. He's like, yeah, they're kind of like a weaker version of Daniel. But the rebuttal is they're so much more flexible. You could play them with so much. I could play First Sacrifice and Teaching in Parables. And I can go Eliod and Haggai and just Deborah's judge's seat over and over. So I'm taking one from your territory for free. I'm discarding your best evil card in territory. You have to discard an evil card from hand. I have Coming Prince, Exiles, Teaching in Parables, and First Sacrifice. That's just attacking you with an Eliod over and over with a protected Zerubbabel from Nehemiah. That's really good. And I can pluck in Joshua's sword, just not this version. I can do the Red Exchanger. They're really good. They don't like accusers. They're heavy on brigades, and they are slower. I like to play them with brown to give them some speed. You can play them with orange, too. You need like a mask or thieves. You can play them with thieves pairs really well because there's so much hand control. But I like playing this with Enjoy Their Hands, too. And you can play Thieves, and Highwayman could put down Satan's Seat, and you can play Blind Lost Soul, OT Unity, and take their crowds, negate their crowds, whatever it may be. I think Posties are very, very good. They are a little technical. They can be a little slow. And Accusers exist, so I have them as a B tier, but I think they're really good. I did not mean to do it like this, to where it's like a bell curve, but that, to me, is how it should be. I didn't let this influence me. Once I was like, wherever I put this, I kind of looked at it. I was like, I don't think it's A tier, but I do think it should be here. And we kind of should have this bell curve. We should have a couple of the best offenses, a couple of the weaker ones, and just the majority cluster. And as we're bringing in more in this next set, we're going to have a lot more. We're going to have themes that get better. And we're going to have not necessarily new themes. We're going to have themes we haven't seen in a long time. So we're going to have two bumps to other themes and 3, not necessarily all new ones, but themes that I didn't even bring in here because I'm like, they're not even relevant right now. So I think next year we'll see a bigger tier list and we'll see adjustments. And then, the year after that, what I'm already designing, what we're going to see other things get adjusted. So I could see a couple coming down and a couple coming up. Down here and up here, and things move around as counters come out. So I want to do that. You can agree with me. You can disagree with me. You can use this as kind of like a template. Okay, what did he say? Like, what kind of cards should I bring in? You can leave comments. Hey, what do you like to do with Jeremiah? Or would you play Jeremiah in like Posties or something? Like, there's a lot you can do mixing and matching. And for me, I don't know, I keep saying because of Accusers, like when you can play, in my opinion, the best 2 offenses in the game and slap down a negate OT Humans and just play Orange, Herods, Thieves. I don't think Soulhide for this. They're a little too fast and speedy. But like when you can play New Testament defenses that are really good, or Demons or Thieves Demons, and get an Accusers down turn 1. I mean, look at what it hits. Accusers messes with this, 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 and this. Like, that's a lot. So yeah, you can definitely see why like things are moving around. But so yeah, this is my tier list. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna do defenses. I think next week I do defenses. I'm going out of country, going on vacation. We're going to Japan for 2 weeks for our 1 year anniversary. And then when I come back, I'm probably going to be getting pretty busy. But I'd like to look into doing like a deck tier list. That is a lot of work. So I got to figure out the images there. And then we're talking like triple the amount, you know? Because all of a sudden it's like, I mean, just Daniel alone has 3 defenses that can go with it from just a Daniel perspective. That doesn't include if you play Daniel Orange, what I think is phenomenal. So I don't know. That's going to be, maybe I break that video into like 2. So we'll see. But glad to be back. Going to put this video out there, work on some defense tier videos. Hope you all enjoyed. There's a lot of content out there right now. Can't wait to talk to you all again. Thanks for watching.